Hey everyone, welcome back to another tabletop adventure here at Digital Woods. Today we got a 750 battle report between Catachan Guard
and Thousand Suns.
And with all these lower points games, we're going to get to the action as quick as possible, so we're going to go through our armies and see you in a bit.
Yep.
Hey everyone, this is going to be my 750 points of Catachan. It's going to be split between two detachments, a battalion and a vanguard, I think is what it's called. So let us start off with the battalion, and specifically starting off with my warlord. It is going to be a company commander. He's going to have a plasma pistol, power sword, have the relic, the Blade of Conquest, and he is also going to have the warlord trait lead from the front. It's been a while since I tried out Catachan Guard in a very sort of fighty sort of list. Seems kind of interesting to run with them. For my second HQ choice, I've got another company commander. He's kitted out basically the same thing with a plasma pistol, power sword, and he is going to have a relic as well, spending one of my command points for it. And it is going to be the Maw-Morph Tusk Blade. So that is another power sword upgrade. Moving on to my troop choices, I have 3 identical squads of infantry. Each are 10 man. Each squad has a missile launcher, a flamer. The sergeant in the squad has a power sword and bolt pistol. Moving on to one elite choice for this, I'm going to be bringing a Ministorum Priest. I don't technically have a model for that, but I have a little dude subbing for him. Should be pretty good. And the Priest has all of its stuff: autogun, chainsword, lattice pistol, frag, crack, grenades, the whole shebang that he can take, because it's all free. Moving on to heavy supports for my battalion, I've got myself a Lehman Russ battle tank with the battle cannon, las cannon, 2 sponson plasma cannons, and a heavy stubber. For a second heavy support choice, I've got myself a Wyvern tank, or Wyvern artillery, and it's got its heavy quad launcher, quad storm launcher, and a heavy bolter. And that is it for the battalion detachment. And for my vanguard detachment, and leading this vanguard detachment is going to be a Primus Psyker, and he's going to have his force stave, and he is going to have the psychic powers of Night Shroud and Psychic Maelstrom. And for the elite choices, I've got one Astropath with a las pistol, and that he'll know the psychic barrier power. And finishing it off, I've got 2 identical Tech Priest Engine Seers with their servo claws and their las pistols. Pretty cheap for a extra Vanguard detachment, giving me that 1 extra command point, making it for the one I spent earlier. So I'll have 8, and that will make up my 750 points on the nose of Catachan.
Alright, so here's going to be my 748 points of Thousand Suns. I'll be running a battalion detachment for this. So let's get into HQs with my warlord, who's going to be an exalted sorcerer, carrying into battle with him a infernal bolt pistol, a force stave, and his standard kit otherwise. And his psychic powers are going to be Glamour of Tzeentch and Weaver of Fate. His warlord trait for this one is going to be High Magister, and he's also going to be carrying along with him a relic, the Helm of the Third Eye. Next up in HQ is going to be Ahriman himself, and he needs no other introduction. He carries his own stuff. Except for his psychic powers, which are going to be Warp Time, Prescience, and another one that doesn't matter because I'm changing it to Gaze of Fate. On to troops. Next, on to troops, where my first one is going to be a group of 10 Rubric Marines, all carrying into battle Infernal Bolt guns. And their Inspiring Sorcerer is going to be bringing a Inferno Bolt Pistol and a Force Stave, and his psychic power is going to be Temporal Manipulation. Next for troops, I've got some Pink Horrors, just a group of 10 Bare Bones, and a group of 10 Zangors, all carrying Zangor Blades. No other upgrades. And then on to elites, where I've got a group of 3 Flamers of Tzeentch, all with their standard kit, And lastly, I've got one Hellbrute upgraded with his personal Hellbrute plasma cannon and a missile launcher. And that's my army.
Alright folks, here we are deployed for yet another No Mercy. As you can see, pretty much all the guard nice standing back here. We're using the Dawn of War deployment. And Mike has his Thousand Sons all lined up as far forward as he can, keeping his Hellbrute and Warlord out of line of sight behind the doors there. Mike finished deploying first because I had a ton of characters that need to be deployed individually.
Yes.
So he's going to have the +1 to roll off. This game mode's pretty simple. 1 victory point for each unit you wipe out, +1 for First Blood, Slay the Warlord, and Linebreaker.
Yeah,
So let us see who has turn 1. Well, you got a 6. Do you want to have turn 1?
Sure.
I will attempt to seize. I got a 4.
Okay, so going into Thousand Sons turn 1. Alright, so Thousand Sons movement phase for turn 1. I basically had everything move in advance, except for the Hellbrute, which just moved up its normal 8. So, this is where all of my Rubric Marines and Ahriman got up to. My Zangors, my Flamers of Tzeentch, and lastly my Pink Horrors hiding behind the ruins over here. So that moves on to Psychic phase, where I've got a few I want to get off. Alright, so starting off Psychic, I'm going to go with Ahriman casting Gaze of Fate, which is going to be a Warp Charge 6. Alright, so that's going to be 2 dice for that, and going for a 6. Which I just managed to get it, actually with his +1, so 7. There we go, so I've got 1 reroll that I can use. Next up is actually going to be Warp Time from Ahriman again, going into the Rubric Marines just there. So that is going to be a Warp Charge of 6 again, with his +1. I just managed to... No, yeah, I get it, with another 7. So, there we go. And I will move that unit now. After that move, that's where they ended up, moving and advancing, and I managed to roll 1 extra inch for that advance, so bleh. Next and lastly for Ahriman, he's going to be casting Prescience on the Hellbrute, and that is going to be a Warp Charge of 7, which I get with a 9. So, that goes off fantastically, and then moving on to the Aspiring... Exalted Sorcerer, sorry. Where he's going to be casting Weaver of Fates on the Rubric Marines. So, Weaver of Fates is going to be a Warp Charge of 6. And he gets it with an 11. And then lastly, he's got Glamour of Tzeentch, which he is going to be putting on also the Hellbrute. So, and that is going to be a Warp Charge of 7. Which I got it with a 8. So, and that is all the psychic powers I'm going to be casting this time onto shooting. Alright, so starting shooting phase with the Hellbrute, and I think that's actually the only thing that can shoot this turn. So Hellbrute is going to be putting both its Hellbrute plasma gun, or plasma cannon, and its crack missile into the one tank right there. It can just manage to see its treads through that front window. So, that's going to... we'll start with the Hellbrute plasma cannon with its D3 number of shots. For 1.
You do have command points and a Gaze of Fate still.
Yeah, I think I will use a command point on... No, I'll use a Gaze of Fate on this one. So, Gaze of Fate for 3. There we go, that's much better. And then hitting on 3s. All 3 hit. Is it 6s to hit? Or no, the False Emperor is in the fight phase. Sorry, never mind. With all 3 hit, now I'll be wounding on 4s. For 2 possible wounds.
And what is the EP?
The AP for that is going to be -3.
Okay, and since I'm in cover, he'll basically turn it to -2, so that'll be 2 5-up saves. So I rolled double 2s. I'll command point one of them. No. So what? That's 4 damage.
That is going to be, in fact, 4 damage. Yes.
Okay.
And then one more shot going into the tank with the crack missile hitting on 3s. Hit with a 4. And wounding on 4s as well. Wounds with a 5.
And what's the AP of the crack missile?
The AP of the crack missile is going to be -2. So just -1 for you.
Yep. 4-up save. Yeah,
Made it.
Made that one.
Alright, and I think that's literally it for Thousand Suns. So on to guard turn 1.
Alright, movement phase for the Catachan Guard turn 1. Moving up all 3 of my infantry squads. Both company commanders, my priests are going with them. The 2 psychers are hanging back. My battle tank stayed put with my tech priest engine seer staying with it. And my wyvern on the left flank stayed put with its engine seer. So at the end of the movement phase, my 1 engine seer restores D3 wounds onto the battle tank for 3.
Aww. Back to 1 wound done.
And I'm spending a command point to engage Consolidate Squad to make these 2 10-man squads into 1 20-man squad.
Alright.
Alright, and in the Psychic phase, starting out with my Primaris Psyker, casting on the big squad of 20 there, Night Shroud. And it is a warp charge 6, so an 8 is successful to get it. I measured, I am outside of 24 of any of your Psychers, even the aspiring one in the front there.
Oh.
So Astropath is going to go next, and he's going to put Psychic Barrier on the big squad of 20. And that is more than enough. It's a warp charge 6 again.
Oh god, absolutely.
Okay, so that's it for Psychic Powers. On to order time, where I'm going to start off with ordering the big squad, take aim. Small squad, take aim from the other. And that's really about it. I'm not Cadian, and I don't have all the other relics and whatnot where I can just stack orders. So that'll have to be it for right now. So on to actual shooting. All right, and first thing shooting off is going to be my tank here. He's going to fire at the Hellbrute. -1 to hit, but he's got loads of shots. Starting off with the battle cannon. It is 2d6 number of shots, technically 1d6, but can fire twice because of the Grinding Advance special roll. And I'm going to keep both of those because of the Catachan allows me to reroll any dice any 1 dice per gun shot for determining random number of shots. So that's 9 shots coming out of it.
Which is pretty good.
With the -1 though, it is going to be hitting on 5s though. Meh, I got 3. I would have had 6 in total without the -1.
Worth it then.
Yep. And Strength 8 versus Tough of 7, wounding on 3s. All 3 wound. EP -2.
Alright, so that's going to be 3 5-ups then.
Made 2.
Wait, 2. Failed 1.
D3 damage for 2.
Ah.
Alright, next up the 2 Plasma Sponsons. D3 number of shots each. For 2 each. And hitting on 5s, not supercharging. And good thing I didn't. I would have had 1 mortal wound from that. But 2 hits. And Strength 7 versus Tough of 7, so wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. And
Right.
Plasma is AP -3.
Ugh. So, 2 6-ups then. Didn't make either.
1 damage a pop.
Okay.
And the Las Cannon. Hitting on a 5? No. Alright, that's it for the tank. Took 4 wounds out of the,
It did.
Hey, return the favor.
Yep.
Alright, next up to shoot is going to be my Wyvern, firing its quad Storm Shard mortars into the flamers there. It's got a total of 4d6 number of shots. So I got 9. And I'm going to use the Catachan thing to reroll the 1. That, and I
Are
think I think that's enough. I'll get 14 shots.
Okay.
Hitting on 4s. Ooh. That was pretty good.
Ooh.
6 misses. It's about average. And then wounding on 4s. Strength 4 versus tough of 4. For, I think, 3, but I do believe Quad Storm allows me to reroll wounds. Let me double check. Alright, and it was correct. The Quad Storm Shard allows rerolling to wound. So, still needing 4s. Getting 2 more. So that's 5 wounds.
And that's going to be 5 4-ups for them. Which I make all but 1.
Next up, I think, is going to be this squad firing pretty much all of its shots into the Zangors right there.
Alright.
Alright, and starting off with the 7 las guns that are in range, hitting on 4s. Not great. And then wounding on 5s because strength 3 versus tough of 4. 1.
Yeah, because Zangors, it's going to be 1 5-up, of which I make.
D6 number of shots from the frag missile for 2. I forgot to check to see if I rolled any 1s in that for the las guns, but oh well. These are going to be 2 shots hitting on 5s. 1 miss, 1 reroll. So take aim. Literally nothing!
Can you re-roll the number of shots for them, or is it just vehicles?
It's just vehicles.
It's just vehicles, alright.
Alright, and then I think the big squad's just going to try to do the same thing, hopefully with better results.
Alrighty then.
Alright, big squad firing at the Zangors. There are 11 las guns in range. And hitting on 4s, we're rolling 1s. And wounding on 5s. None. Alright, 2d6 number of frag missiles, or missile shots, from the 2 frag launchers. For 4, I'm rolling like fire. And hitting on 5s because they did move. For 1, rerolling the 1. For 2. And wounding on 4s. For 1. After all of that.
After all that. And that was on the Zangors.
Yep.
So 1 5-up. No. Zangor eats it. Alrighty then. On to Thousand Suns turn 2. Alright, so movement for Thousand Suns. I had another round of advances for the Zangors, the Flamers of Tzeentch, and the Pink Horrors. So everything else-wise just moved forward its base movement, and the Hellbrute just stayed put, because it's already in range and doing fine. So on to Psychic Powers, where I'm going to be starting with Gaze of Fate. And Gaze of Fate is going to be a warp charge of 6. So, whoop, got it with a 10. And I measure, well, Tom measured, and I'm just outside of range for any denies for Tom.
Yep.
So, Gaze of Fate off. I'm then going to move on to Warp Time, which I'm going to be putting on the Zangors. So that is going to be a warp charge of 7, which I got with an 11. Alright, so after movement for the Zangors, I moved and advanced them just so they could huddle up in the corner in the building, readying for a charge next turn. And still remaining slightly outside of the range for the Flamers, hoping that Tom doesn't just move them forward. So onwards to the last of Ahriman's powers, which I believe is going to be Weaver of Fate. So that is going to be a warp charge of 6, which I got with a 9. I'm going to be putting that on the rubrics. Next, on to the Exalted Sorcerer, where he's going to be casting Prescience on the Hellbrute. So that's going to be a warp charge of 7, which a 5 is not going to cut it.
Even with the +1.
Even with a +1, so I'm going to be using my Gaze of Fate on that 1, which a 9 is more than enough with that +1. So Prescience goes off on the Hellbrute, and lastly I'm going to put Glamour of Tzeentch on the group of Zangors, and that's going to be a warp charge of 7, which Yeah, that would just be enough with the +1 from High Magister. Alright, that's it for the Exalted, and then the last thing casting this round is going to be the Aspiring Sorcerer, casting Temporal Manipulation on the Hellbrute. And that's going to be a Warp Charge of a 6. Which I just managed to get, and that's going to restore a D3 wounds on the Hellbrute. For 2. Alright, so starting for shooting, I'm going to be going with the Rubric Marines, all firing into the big 20-man blob of Guard. Now I'm going to be -1 to hit because of his not smokescreen.
Night Shroud.
Night Shroud. There we go.
And I will be spending 1 command point for the tactical stratagem Take Cover.
Oh.
I get to add 1 to my saving throw.
Okay. For a second I thought it was going to be like a -2 to hit.
No, I wish it was. It's just
oh,
+1 to saving throws. Which does mean with Psychic Barrier and that, I have a +2 to my saves. With your -2, I cancel out your AP.
Alright, well, I'll be hitting on 4s for these 9 number shots. For missing 4. No flavor of rerolls. And then wounding on 3s for 4 possible wounds. AP -2, but as Tom said, it don't matter.
I've got +2, so I get to keep my 5-up save.
Hey!
Which I don't make any.
Oh.
So that's 4 dead.
Okay. Hellbrute, which is going to once again throw all of his shots into the tank. So starting with the D3 number of shots from the Hellbrute Plasma Cannon. For 1. I'll spend a command point on that. For 3. Much better. This will actually be hitting on 2s because of prescience. For didn't matter.
And you take a wound.
Oh, I do actually take a wound. That isn't... Damn it, we forgot to roll the D6 for the end of your shooting phase.
That's true. Just remember it for the end of this phase.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm actually just going to put that next to him so I remember. Alright, so that's 2 hits, so wounding on 3.
4s.
4s, wounding on 4s. For 1 possible wound.
Okay, and 1 5-up save.
And then the 1 crack missile going in, hitting on a 2. Oh, and I already spent a command point and my Gaze of Fate, so nothing I can do there. Doesn't have guns, out of range, has pistols essentially, and has pistols and advanced. So, that's it for my shooting, except that I get to roll for, is my Hellbrute crazed? So let's see if on a 6 I basically get to shoot again. Nope, it's 5. So he does not get to shoot again, and that's now completely done with shooting, and nothing can charge because it either moved, advanced, or otherwise. So on to Guard, turn 2.
Alright, turn 2 for the Catachans. My mass amount of guardsmen continue to move forward, along with both company commanders and my priest. Kept all 3 of the heavy weapons team stationary this turn. And my Astropath and Primus Psyker didn't move. Battle Tank didn't move, and Wyvern didn't move, and the Engine Seers responsible for keeping them healthy also didn't move.
Alright.
So first off, at the end of the phase, repair the vehicle for D3. For 2.
Back down to 1, damn it.
Yeah, we're having
A heal off.
basically. And I'll spend 1 command point to make the group of 10 now added onto the other group. So it's all 1 big unit.
Oh god, alright.
Alright, so that'll be it for the end of the movement phase going into the psychic phase. Well, I'll start off with putting Night Shroud on the big group now. And 6 is enough. And as we measured before, I'm out of range of all your things to die.
Yep.
And I will attempt to put Psychic Barrier on them. 3 is not enough, so I will command point the 1 for 2. Woo! Rolling like fire. Alright, so that'll put me down to 3 command points. So I do not get that one off. Alright, so on to shooting phase, which will start off with orders, which the orders will be one company commander will give the big unit first rank fire, second rank fire, and then both company commanders will give themselves take aim.
Fair enough.
Alright, that's it for orders. Now on to shooting. Starting off with the battle tank and shooting all his shots into the Hellbrute over there. Since nothing has moved, we maintain line of sight. So starting off with the battle cannons. Two shots of D6 each. Rerolling the 2 with the Catachan thing. So 9 shots in total. And you didn't give it the -1 to hit, so this is going to be hitting on 4s. And wounding on 3s. Rolling like fire. 1 wound. The AP -2.
Alright. 1, 5 up. Made it.
2d3 number of shots from his sponsons. Once again, not supercharging. Rerolling the 1 with the Catachan thing for 2 shots each. Hitting on 4s. 1 successful hit. And wounding on a 4. For nothing. Las cannon hitting on a 4. Successfully hits. Wounding on a 3. Hey, wounded. AP -3 for a las cannon.
1, 6 up. Made it.
Okay. Alright, so that's it for that. Next is going to be my mortar tank. Once again, trying to take out those flamers before they become a real threat. 46 number of shots. Well, I get to reroll 1 of these. 3. So that's a total of 9 shots. Hitting on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 5. And wounding on 4s. Rerolling to wound. For 4 wounds.
And 4 ups, because demon. Or I make 3. That's 1 dead flamer.
I do believe I can draw a line of sight to your dudes.
Alright.
So 3 heavy bolter shots, hitting on 4s. For nothing. Okay, that's it for my vehicles. On to my big squad, where I have to do a quick measuring out to see what exactly everything can target. Okay, so for the big blob, this is how it's going to break down. The 3 rockets are going to fire cracks into the Hellbrute to try to whittle it down, or try to do some damage to it this turn. All of the las guns and the 2 bolt pistols that are over here are going to shoot at the rubrics. The 2 flamers that are within the 8-inch range for that are going to shoot that way, and all of the las guns that are over here are also going to shoot that way, along with the 1 bolt pistol.
Alright.
So starting off first with the 3 crack missiles. They did not move, so they're going to be hitting on 4s, going after that Hellbrute. For 2. And then wounding on 3s. For 1. With AP -2, I do believe, for a crack missile.
Alright, so 1, 5 up. Made it.
Alright. So next thing up, I'm going to start with the flamers. There's 2 that are in range, so 2d6 number of shots. For 7. Auto hit, and then wounding on 4s. For 2.
5 ups for them. Which I made 1, failed 1. So 1 Zangor dies.
Alright. Next up, I will take care of the bolt pistols. So 2 bolt pistols going into the rubrics, hitting on 4s. For 1. And wounding on a 4. For none. And 1 going into the Zangors. 1 going into the Zangors, hitting on a 4. And wounding on a 4. Nope. Alright, and now I just need to calculate exactly how many las gun shots. Okay, calculating it out with first rank, second rank fire, and everything that's in rapid fire, found out that 28 are within range of the rubrics, or 28 shots are within range of the rubrics, and 30 are within range of the Zangor for the las guns. So starting off with the 28 going into the rubrics, hitting on 4s. 15 hits, and then wounding on 5s.
And that's going to be 6 2-ups because of all is dust. Of which 3 go down.
See, apparently I need to attack your 2-up.
You need to attack my 2-ups.
Not your 5-ups.
No, I can make my 5-ups all day long, apparently. 2-ups, though, are the bane of my existence. Which is the strangest statistical anomaly ever.
30 shots going into the Zangors. Hitting on 4s. 11 out of 30 hits. Okay. And then wounding on 5s. 4, 2.
Okay. And 2 5-ups. No.
At least you didn't make them. Alright, so that's 3 Zangors in total from my squad and 3 Rubrics. At least I'm consistent on casualties.
At least.
Alright, well, with that success, I'll take the Rubric kills, but I still have a little bit more to shooting. Both my company commanders are within 12 inches of the Zangors, so I'm going to fire them together, firing their plasma pistols, not supercharging.
Aww.
But I do get reroll 1s to hit, and they're hitting on 3s. 1 hit. And wounding on a 3. Nope. And the priest with his autogun, which actually is in rapid fire. 2 shots hitting on 3s. Both hit. And wounding on 5s. Nope. Alright, well, that's it for shooting. Charges to declare. I'm definitely charging the Zangors with the big blob.
Alright.
Yeah, I think I'm only going to do that. It's like a 12-inch charge with the other dudes. So, or an 11 or whatever. So, big blob going into the Zangors.
I have no shooting attack. Roll your charge.
Ha!
Well, that's a 1.
That's a 4.
It's a 4. I think it would technically make it, but would you like to spend a command point?
Yeah. I got an 8.
Okay, that's better.
Alright, and then my priest is also going to charge the Zangors. You got a 6. Probably not enough, but we'll see.
Alright.
This is where they end up after the charge. 6-inch charge was not enough to get my priest in range, but enough to get a lot of the dudes in. I am going to attempt 2 more charges, a 12-inch charge with this company commander and a 7 for this one. So starting with the one that has a 12. Oh, look, I didn't get it. The one that has a 7. I got a 6.
Oh. And you already spent your command point.
Yep. So, on to the fight phase. Triggering their big blob of murder. They're going to go ahead and pile in 3 extra inches to see how many more it can get in. And then we'll figure out how many attacks I get. Okay, so measuring out and figuring out all that can make it in now that they've done their 3-inch pile in. I'm including the power swords that the sergeants are carrying because it won't matter because you're running off a 5-up invul.
Yep.
I've got 37 attacks.
Ugh.
So 37 hitting on 4s. Are going to be wounding on 4s because I am Catachan. Get +1 strength.
And because Zangors, that'll be 11 5-ups.
I think I got it.
I think you got it because I made 3.
So you took 8 casualties. I think you had like 4 left.
Yeah, I think they might be dead.
Yay!
Congratulations on First Blood.
First blood!
Let me remove my pile from your pile.
Alright, and after doing some consolidating, I moved a good chunk of them forward and towards the rubrics. Chose not to move the guys that are closer to the paint cores because even if I did, they wouldn't be able to make it in. And even if I did, you would just be able to get extra attacks. So
Yeah, fair enough.
So that is going to be the end for turn 2 for the Catachan Guard. Woot. I got first blood.
You did. You got 2 points. On to Thousand Suns, turn 3. Alright, so Thousand Suns, turn 3. For movement, I had this whole puddle just kind of move forward to make sure that everyone can see and get shots in, so there's no rocks in the way. I had my Exalted Sorcerer kind of shift over, trying to join up with this group here. I made sure to keep my Aspiring Sorcerer within 18 to heal the Hellbrute, which still has not moved because it's still got a good shot on Tom's tank. My Flamers have not moved, ready to flame and charge if necessary. And then I shifted up, not advancing, should have advanced, but oh well, the Pink Horrors. And that's it for movement. Onto Psychic, where I'm going to start off with Gaze of Fate, and that's going to be Warp Charge of 6, which I get with a 7. Next is going to be Prescience. Actually, I'm not going to be putting Prescience on the Hellbrute. I'm going to be putting it on the unit of Rubrics over there.
Okay.
And that is going to be a Warp Charge 7, which I get with a 9.
Becomes a 10.
Becomes a 10. Then Temporal Manipulation from my Aspiring Sorcerer into the Hellbrute. Warp Charge of 6. So, 5, which becomes a 6.
Not from your Aspiring Sorcerer.
Not from my Aspiring Sorcerer, never mind.
He's your only psycho that doesn't +1 to his...
Gaze of Fate. Less. Okay, well. Alright, so Ahriman casting Smite on the big group of guard. Or is the...
It's all one group.
It's all one group? Alright, so Smite on the big group of guard. 5 it goes off. 11 or higher. It's better. 5 or better. So
You got an 8, and I am going to attempt to deny. So I need to show a 9 or better. I got a 10.
Darn. Okay.
And I can't stop your other one because he's out of range.
Okay. And then my Exalted Sorcerer is going to be casting Glamour of Tzeentch. I'll throw that on the rubrics.
Okay.
So that's going to be a Warp Charge of 7. For a 4.
A 5.
Well, a 5, but...
You do have 6 command points.
I do have 6 command points, so I'm going to re-roll one of those with a command point and hope I get something good.
You got a 6 total.
I got a 6 total. It needs a 7.
Yeah.
So, darn. And then lastly, Weaver of Fates. I'm going to be throwing it on the rubrics this turn. So, Warp Charge of 6 for throwing Weaver of Fates on the Rubric Marines. For a 7. So that actually does go off. So, less successful Psychic phase this time round, but oh well. On to shooting. Alright, so to start shooting off, I'm going to be declaring all of the Rubric Marines into the big blob of guard.
And I'll spend my 1 command point to take cover. Admittedly, I'll only get a 6-up save then, but at least I get a save.
True. And finally remembering that I have the Helm of the Third Eye. I'm gonna roll a dice. On a 5-up, I get a command point. No. And then I've got 13 shots coming from all of my Rubric Marines going into the guard. 12 from the Infernal Bolt guns, 1 from the Infernal Bolt pistol. It all has basically the same profile, so I'm just rolling it all at once. So this will be hitting on 3s, I believe.
Because you're +1 to hit, mine -1 to hit.
Alright, hitting on 3s. 4 misses.
Our pluses and minuses didn't really...
Nope. That was 4-1, so I'm sorry, Company Commander. Get back up there. And then wounding on...
3s. Your strength versus tough of 3.
Right. And then wounding on 3s. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible wounds.
6 6-up saves. Which I don't make any. Okay.
Next up is going to be the group of 10 Pink Horrors firing at the guard, as they are just within glorious range to get all of them in. So this is going to be 20 shots hitting on 4s. So 9 hit, and then wounding on 4s as well. 4, 1, 2, and 3 possible wounds.
Okay. I still have my take cover, because that lasts for the rest of the shooting phase. And that'll mean I have 4 up saves. Which I failed 2 of anyway, so 2 more are going to go down.
Alright. And next in shooting is going to be my 2 flamers of Zinch. Both have d6 number of shots, so let's find out what they are. 4. I will spend a command point on the 1. For 9. There we go. So that'll be 9 shots. It automatically hits, so wounding on 3s. For 3 misses. So 6 possible wounds.
6 5-up save, because AP -1. Ooh, that was actually a good save for once. Lose 2 more.
Alright, so next up in shooting phase, I'm just going to lump Ahriman and the Exalted Sorcerer together, because they're both firing Infernal Bolt pistols at the same group of guard. So, 2 shots, hitting on 3s, because they're hard to hit. Both hit, and then wounding on 3s. For both wound.
Alright, and that'll mean 2 6-up saves, because I've taken cover. Save 1. 1 more goes down.
Alright.
You.
And then lastly, in the shooting phase, I've got the Hell Brute. He's going to be firing... He's going to be firing his plasma still into the tank, but I think he's going to be firing his missile in frag mode into the guard.
Okay.
So D3 number of shots for the plasma going into the tank. For 3. Hitting on 3s because he didn't move. 1.
He takes 2 mortal wounds.
Does take 2 mortal wounds on a 4. No. And then D6 number of hits, or shoots, on the guard from the frag missile. For 3. Hitting on 3s. 3 hits, and then wounding on 3s as well. For 1.
Alright. 1 4-up save? No.
1 more bites the dust. And that being the end of the shooting phase, Crazed pops off. On a 6-up, he gets to shoot again. He gets to shoot again. Plasma into the tank. D3 number of shots. You know what? I'm just going to throw everything into the tank again. So, plasma into the tank and crack into the tank.
Okay.
So, plasma, D3 number of shots. For 1. Hitting on a 3. No.
Takes another
mortal wound. Is he dead?
He's got 8 wounds. I'll leave him at 2.
Okay. The crack missile hitting on a 3. Hits. Wounding on a 4. No. Good job. You hurt yourself 3 times. Got angry. Hurt yourself again. Well, that is it for shooting.
Charges to declare?
Dare I charge the flamers in? Let me think about that. Alright, so declaring a charge with the rubrics and...
Just you need to do 1 at a time.
Yeah, declaring a charge with the rubrics into both the company commander and the priest over here.
Alright, starting with the priest, his 2 shots from his autogun, hitting on 6s. Nope. And plasma pistol, not supercharged, hitting on a 6. No.
Good thing it wasn't supercharged.
Yep.
It's about an 8-inch charge. Let's see if I make it in. A 10. Yes.
This was enough to get both in.
Sweet. So I will shift them in. Here they are after the initial charge. And I measured it out. It's about a 12-inch charge from Ahriman to the company commander. And you can't overwatch from him anymore, so I figured why not try a long ball. Didn't get it. Oh well. So on to fight phase, because I don't think I'm going to be charging with anything else. Alright, so here is everyone after any consolidations,
And my one company commander that has lead from the front's heroic intervention.
Alright, so I guess starting off, I'm going to get these 3 to throw their attacks into the priest, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, and wounding on 3s as well with these. So, none.
Woo! Priest is fine.
I've got 3 regular attacks going into the company commander, hitting on 3s. All 3 hit, and then wounding on 3s for 2 possible wounds.
So 5 ups. Yeah.
Oh, damn. And then 2 attacks from the force stave of the aspiring sorcerer going in, hitting on 3s. 1. His aura is only a 6, so that doesn't affect. And wounding on 2s. Well, that's a 1. Okay, well this went well for me. Your attack's back.
Okay.
Oh, completely unwounded guard next to literal space marines.
Well, these are Catachan characters, so...
Do they do more than 1 wound per damage?
Both of my company commanders have relic swords.
Oh, damn it.
The company commander here is currently rocking the Maw-Morph Tuskblade relic. And because he's close enough to the priest, he has 4 attacks. He's going to be hitting on 3s. For 3 successful hits. And this gives him +2 to his strength, making him strength 5. So he's going to be wounding on 3s. For 2 wounds, with EP -3.
Okay.
Oh, and it does do 2 damage a pop. So it's going to be running off of your invul.
Yeah, invul. So that'll be 2 4-ups for my invul. Made it.
Alright, might as well get my other company commander out of the way. He's got 4 attacks as well because of the priest, and he is rocking the Blade of Conquest. So hitting on 3s, but because he is Warlord trait and he gloriously intervened, he gets to reroll all the hits. Rerolling all the hits. All successfully hit. He is also strength 5 because of his weapon, so wounding on 3s. All successfully wound. And AP -4.
4-up invul. For 1 goes through.
The priest now swinging in with 5 attacks, 3 base, +1 for Chancellor, +1 because he's nearby himself. And he is hitting on 4s, but he is Zealot, and he gets to reroll all the hits. So he hits with 4. And he is only strength 3, so he's wounding on 5s. So 3 wounds.
3 2-ups. Which I make 2. Alright, well that should be the end of my turn.
Morale on that unit. Spending my last command point now to do Fight On to Death, which reduces the D6 to a D3. So I'm going to lose D3 +1 more models because of broken morale. So I lose 4 more.
On to Imperial Guard, turn 3.
Turn 3 movement for the guard. Pretty simple. Pretty much everything stayed put. The 2 psychers shifted a little bit just to make sure that I'm within 24 for denies. And my guard piled through the building, hoping between them and my wyvern I can clean up the left-hand flank here. So yeah, that's it for movement. Everything else stayed put. Repairing the last wound.
Yeah, because you don't even have to roll, because
Yeah.
it's D3. Damn it, it's back to fall.
On to Psychic Phase, where I'll be starting off with the Astropath attempting a smite on a 5-up.
That is a 5.
Okay. Well, you got 2 guys around for, or you got multiple guys around for attempting to deny.
I'm going to throw a deny from the Exalted Sorcerer.
Okay.
Really?
You have 4 command points.
I do. But I'm just kind of like, really? Command point. Nope, get back here. I didn't roll you. That was a fumble. Okay, there we go.
And then my Primus Psyker is going to go ahead and smite as well. Now I need to roll a 6 or better. I got 2. I got a 4. Okay. So no smites. On to the shooting phase, where both company commanders are going to order themselves to affix bayonets to, I guess, their relic power swords so they can fight right now.
So they can stab while they stab.
Yeah. So affix bayonets allows a unit within 1 inch to immediately fight as if it was the fight phase, and that means both of those company commanders get their attacks in. Alright, starting off with the company commander with the Momorph Tusk Blade. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. For 2. And then wounding on 3s. For none. Alright, let's, come on, dice. You can work with me at some point today. And then the company commander with the Blade of Conquest. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. Or not. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and activate the Guard Squad. And it's going to fire all 3 of its flamers into the 2 that are there. The 2 flamers that you have. And I think I'm going to fire the 3 bolt pistols as well. And then all the las guns are going to shoot that squad.
Alright.
So, 3d6 flamers. For 11. Alright, so that's 11 hits. Strength 4 versus Tough 4, so wounding on 4s. For 4.
And because demons, 4 4-ups. Would you make 2 failed 2, so that's 1 dead flamer.
Alright, 3 bolt gun shot, or bolt pistol shots. Hitting on 4s. For 2. And wounding on 4s. For 2.
And once again, 2 4-ups. Alright. Last one has 1 wound left.
Okay, and then all of the las guns are in rapid fire, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 las guns. 8 shots, hitting on 4s. For 4. Perfectly statistical. And then you're only tough 3 on the pink horror, so wounding on 4s. For none. Alright. Next up is going to be the Wyvern, Heavy Bolter into the 1 remaining Flamer, and then the Mortar into the Pink Horrors. Starting off with the Mortar, 4d6 number of shots. For 7, and I'm going to reroll the 2 with the Catachan special bonus. Alright, that's a little bit better for 12. And 12 shots hitting on 4s. Perfectly statistical. 6 hits, 6 misses. And then wounding on 3s, because the pink horrors are only tough 3. For all but 1, but the weapon allows rerolling to wound. So all wound.
Alright, so it'll be 6 4-ups, because demons. Of which I make all but 1.
Alright, and the last thing coming out of it is its Heavy Bolter. 3 shots, hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 3 on the horror. On the flamer. Nope. Okay. Alright, next up is my main battle tank, firing all the shots once again, trying to finish off the Hellbrute. Starting off with the battle cannon, which is 2d6 number of shots, technically 1d6 twice. And I'm going to reroll the 3. Come back here. Reroll the 3 from the Catachan. To a 1. Oh well. 5 shots, hitting on 4s. Hey, finally a decent roll. All hit, and wounding on 3s. Almost made up immediately by a bad roll, but hey, got 2 out of them.
Which is all you need.
Yes. 2 with AP minus 3.
So that's 2 5-ups for him, I believe, because he has no kind of invul.
Yeah. AP minus 2, you were correct with the 5 up though. But you make both.
I make both.
2d3 shots from the 2 plasma cannons. Once again, you know what? I'm going to supercharge them.
Alright.
2d3 from that supercharging. Rerolling the 2. 2 a 1, it stays exactly the same. So it's 3 shots. 3 shots hitting on 4s. And I hit 1, take 2 mortal wounds. And wounding on a 3. Wound with AP -3. 6 up save.
Alright, yep. And 1 6 up.
Which you make.
Which I make.
Last cannon. Misses. Alright. Both company commanders are going to supercharge their plasma pistols, hitting on 3s. Alright, and rerolling the one with my last command point. Okay, both hit. Both wound on a 2. Both successfully wound. You still have
4-ups from
Weaver
Glamour,
Fate.
or
Yeah.
Weaver Fate, you're right.
yes.
So 2 4-ups for the rubrics,
You make both.
which I make both.
Okay. That's it for the shooting phase, because I literally have no more guns. On to the fight phase. I'll start with my Warlord company commander. His 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. I hit once. And wounding on a 3. For no wounds.
Alright, so my attack's back. Obviously I pick the 1 unit I have, and I'll start with 3 rubrics going into the Priest. They'll be hitting on 3s, of which 2 hit, the other ones...
A 4.
Okay.
Hit.
All 3 hit. And then wounding on 3s as well. For 2 possible wounds. No AP.
2 4-up invols. Yay.
Alright. And then for these 2, I'm going to have the other rubric go into... I should have said that earlier, but it's the only thing that they can attack.
Yeah.
So 1 rubric going into the company commander. Nope. And then the aspiring sorcerer with his 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, going into the company commander. Both hit. And then I think wounding on
2s
still-
is your strength 6.
Alright. Wounding on 2s. 1 wound.
5-up invul. Yay.
Alright.
My other company commander can now swing in. His 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound. AP -3 on it, so you're going to be using your
4 up. Which I do not make.
Woot.
That's 1 rubric down.
And then my priest with his 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. He does not get any rerolls because he didn't do any charging type stuff this turn. For 4 hits. And then wounding on 5s because he only strength 3. For 2.
2 ups then. Made him.
You could have used your 5 up there.
Yep. Alright, so for Thousand Suns, turn 4, nothing over here moved. Rupert Marines are still in combat, and I had the Pink Horrors just move up their base move, and the Flamer didn't move. Alright, so starting off Psychic Phase with Aramon casting Gaze of Fates, and it's Warp Charge 6, which I get with an 8. Next, he's going to be casting Prescience, which is going to be a Warp Charge of 7, and he is going to be throwing that on... Does that work for melee as well?
Yeah, it's +1 to hit.
Oh, well then the, probably the rubrics.
Okay.
So that's going to be Warp Charge 7, which I get with a 9. And then he's going to use his last Psychic Power to smite. Let's go with the closest, because that's how that works.
Mhm.
The
One with the green sword.
Yeah, the one with the green sword. So, we all know how smite works. And a 4 doesn't cut it.
You get the +1, so...
Just enough.
Alright, I'm going to use my Primus Psyker to try to deny that smite. And I luckily got just enough.
Yep. So next is going to be the Exalted Sorcerer, casting Glamour of Zinch, which he's going to be putting on the Hellbrute. So that's going to be a Warp Charge of 7. For a 5, made a 6, does not cut it.
You have 3 command points still.
And I have a Gaze of Fate, which I'm going to spend right here. For a total of an 8, made a 9, Alright, well, he is completely within range to do Weaver of Fates. Actually, I'm going to swap that to he's going to be smiting. I believe the closest would be your Warlord.
Yeah.
So, with a 9, made 10.
Might as well attempt it an eye. And I got an 8.
Okay.
So, D3 mortal wounds?
For 2.
Okay.
And then lastly, I'm going to have the Aspiring Sorcerer in here do a smite on the Green Sworded.
Mm-hmm.
So, with a 8.
So he takes 1.
1 mortal wound. So, starting off shooting with all of the now 9 pink horrors going into the guard squad. So that'll be 18 shots, hitting on 4s with their, I think, scintillating flame. And then that'll be wounding on 4s as well. For 5 possible wounds.
Alright. 5 up saves. Down goes 4.
Next up in shooting is going to be the Flamer, putting everything into the guard squad. So D6 number of shots for 3. And that'll be wounding on...
3. Strength 4.
Alright, that'll be wounding on 3s. For 2 possible wounds.
2 6-up saves. No.
That unit's going to throw its Inferno bolt pistol into the gold-sworded guard captain. Hitting on 3s.
2.
Hitting...
Prescience.
Ah, you're correct. Hitting on 2s, which 2. And then wounding on 3s. For none. And I think finishing off the shooting phase, I'm going to do the Hellbrute once again into the now fully healed up tank. Hellbrute Plasma Cannon, D3 number of shots. For 2. Hitting on 3s. 1 hit. And then wounding on, I believe, 4s.
Yep.
No. And then the 1 crack missile hitting on 3s. Hit. And then wounding on 4s. Wounds.
A 4-up save. Yay.
So onto the charge phase, I'm going to have the pink horrors charge at the group of guard. All 4 of them left.
Okay. I'm going to have the 3 flamers, and then the last remaining sergeant is going to hurl a frag grenade.
Alright.
So the 3 flamers, 3d6 number of auto hits for 12. 12 hits, and these will be wounding on 3s for 10 wounds.
Because demons, 10 4-ups. For 4 go down.
Okay. And 1 frag grenade, d6 number of shots for 2. And hitting on 6s for 1. Wounding on a 4. Yes.
1 4-up. Made it. Alright, and then the charge distance in for 8. So they definitely make it.
Yep.
And then lastly in the charge phase, I'll throw my flamer in as well. So, can't fail. Made it. Starting with the pink horrors with their 6 attacks, because this one is basically the leader of the group. This giant stick. So hitting on 4s. For 3 misses. And then wounding on 4s. For 2 possible wounds.
Alright. 2 5-up saves. Nope. Down 2.
Right, next is going to be the Flamer with his 3 attacks. And it's going to be 5s to hit. Which all 3 hit. And then wounding on 3s. For 2 possible wounds.
2 5-up saves. Down to just the sergeant in the unit.
Alright. And then that's everything that charged. I pick one more, then it's all you.
Yep.
So, once again, I'm going to be putting 2 in and 2 in. So I will start with the 2 standard rubrics into the the Warlord of Tom, hitting on 3s, hit, and wounding on 3s for 1 possible wound.
This was
Just rubric into Gold Sword.
okay. So he has his 4-up armor then. Yay.
And then finishing it off with 1 more rubric into the Green Sword. Hit, and then wounding on also 3s. Possible wound.
4-up armor.
Made it. And then the Aspiring Sorcerer's 2 attacks into the Green Sword. Hitting on 3s. Well, darn.
You were hitting on 2.
I was hitting on 2s. I kept saying 3s. But it didn't matter until I rolled 1s.
Yeah. Yay.
That's it for me, so all your attacks back.
Alright. 4 attacks from my Warlord. Hitting on 3s. 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. For 2 wounds. Okay, and checking back through the tape, I did in fact successfully land all of my hits, even with the -1 to hit. So the 2 wounds stand. So that'd be 2 4-up involves.
Alright, 2 4-ups. Which make 1 failed one, so that's another dead rubric.
Second company commander doing the same thing. For 3 successful hits with the -1. And wounding on 3s. For only 1.
1 4-up. Made it.
And then 5 attacks with my priest. Hitting on 4s. For 3. And wounding on 5s. For 1 2-up.
And 1 2-up. Made it.
Okay. And lastly, my sergeant over there. I haven't pulled the 3 dead flamers away. He's going to put his attacks into the flamer. He's got 2 hitting on 4s. And then strength 4 versus tough of 4, wounding on a 4. No wounds.
Alright. And then that will be it for that. For the number you lost, do you have to do...
I lost 7, 8. I lost enough. He flees.
Okay.
I don't got any command points to make him flee.
Alright, in that case, that'll be on to Guard turn 4.
Alright, turn 4. Turn 4 movement for the Catachan Guard. Nothing moved. Pretty straightforward. Everything's either locked into combat or in a relatively decent position. I hope anything goes better for my turn. Alright, so on to the psychic phase, where my Primus goes ahead and tries to smite the rubrics. Fail. And I did that out of order, so the Astropath is going to attempt to do Psychic Barrier then on the tank, because I should have done him first. Which I don't get. Okay, that's it for that. On to the orders. Orders, the company commanders ordered themselves to fight now. So starting with the Warlord, his 4 attacks hitting on 3s. Actually, still hitting on 4s because of your
That would still be on.
So 2 hits, and then wounding on 3s. For 1 wound.
Alright, 1 5-up. Nope, another dead one. You.
Okay. Second company commander. 2 hits, and wounding on 3s. Nope, nothing. Okay, on to the shooting part. The Wyvern is going to activate first, firing his mortars into the pink horrors and his heavy bolter into the flamer. Starting with the mortars. 4d6 number of shots. 4, 10. Rerolling the 1. I can't do any worse. Did much
Can
better.
do better, though.
So 10, 16 shots. Alright, the 16 shots going after those pink horrors, hitting on 4s. And then wounding on 3s. 4, 4, but this allows rerolling to wound. 4, 6.
And that'll be 6 4-ups, because demon. For 5 gone.
Which is
it's the unit. So all the pink horrors are dead.
Alright, and the 3 heavy bolter shots going into the flamer, hitting on 4s. For 1. And wounding on a 3. Nothing. Okay, next up to shoot is going to be my main battle tank, trying to finish off the Hellbrute yet again. Main battle cannon, 2d6 number shots. Double 1, but luckily, because they count as 2 separate shots, Catachan allows me to reroll both.
Ah.
Because Grinding Advance allows you to fire the same turret-mounted weapon twice, so it counts as 2 separate shots.
Which you got a 6 and a 5.
5.
Very much better for you.
Yes. Alright, 11 shots, hitting on 4s. And wounding on 3s. For 4 wounds.
So it'll be 4 5-ups, which I make 2 and fail 2, which means he's dead.
Oh, sorry for the sneezes. Finally, it only took about 4
turns.
After you dealt over almost half of your wounds to yourself.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so. Lit.
Okay. And then that leaves...
Does he have a pistol in range?
Well, I can do the company commander that's in combat.
Ah, true.
So, next up, company commander that is in combat, firing his plasma pistol. I won't supercharge it this time. Hitting on a 4 because of the -1 to hit. Successfully hits. Wounds on a 3. No. Alright, that's it for shooting. Charges to declare. Both my characters are declaring a charge into the rubrics.
Fair enough. I can't.
Company commander, anything but a double 1.
Yep.
Priest, anything but a double 1. Okay. Alright. Now on to the actual fight part. Company commander, his 4 attacks, hitting on 4s, but because he charged, he gets to reroll 1s to hit. I'm sorry, not 1s to hit, all to hit. Because of his warlord trait. Nope. Still only 3 hits, and then wounding on 3s. For 2 wounds.
And that'll be 2 5-ups. Make 1, fail 1. So it's just the aspiring sorcerer left.
Alright. Priest piles in. His 5 attacks, hitting on 4s. He gets to reroll 1s because of Zealot. So,
because he charged.
Yep. So 1 hit, 2 misses, 2 rerolls, leading to only 1 hit, and wounding on a 5. Hey, it wounded. But you get a 2-up save because of Wall's Dust.
And 2 up. Made it.
Alright, so up to the last company commander, which will be the next guy I activate. His 4 attacks, hitting on 4s, no rerolls. 2 hits. And wounding on 3s. 1 wound, 1 5-up.
1 5-up. No. Does he have 1 wound or 2?
He's only got 1.
Oh, alright, well that's the unit then.
Alright. Yay for finally killing him. Boo, I'm now standing in the open.
Well, there's one big thing that would have shot at you that isn't around anymore.
Yeah, but you got the Flamer and the other guys that can now...
I now have 3 units.
Yes.
Alright, well, on to Thousand Suns turn 5. Alright, so Thousand Suns turn 5 now. I've got the Flamer moved up, it's full, ready to barbecue the Astropath. And both of my characters, the Exalted and Ahriman himself, have moved up, ready to smite and bolt pistol the remaining characters. So moving right into Psychic, I'm going to start with Gaze of Fate, Warp Charge 6. Got it with a 9. throw Warp Time on the Exalted Sorcerer, which is going to be a warp charge of 6 for Warp Time. Which got it with a 7, made 8. So I'll move him forward. And then lastly for Ahriman, he's going to be throwing a Smite at the Company Commander. So, a 3 is not enough. I'm going to do...
your Gaze of Fate and 3 command points.
Yep, I'm going to spend a Gaze of Fate on the 1.
That's enough for a 6. Do you want to spend a command point?
I can't get the higher version. But you're going to attempt to deny.
Yes. Right now I need a 7. If you reroll the 2, it could be something better, or you could save it for your second smite.
I'm going to throw it out now, so command point.
Alright, became a 9.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. He's only got 2 wounds left, so... And I do have 2 denies, so... Attempting to deny. And I luckily get an 11.
Oh. And then doing a Smite with the Exalted Sorcerer, going into the same target. Mm-hmm. Is it upped now, or...?
No, you have the Brotherhood of Psychers keyword.
Sweet. So, Smite going into the Company Commander. No.
Yeah, 5. Alright, with a 5 because of the High Magister, that successfully goes off, but I only need to show a 6 to deny. And I got a 9.
Ah. And then lastly, I'm going to cast Weaver of Fates from the Exalted going into Ahriman himself. So that's going to be a warp charge of 6. Which I do not get. So on to shooting, where I will start with a Flamer, which is going to be D6 number of shots. For 3, these auto hit, wounding on 3s. For 2 possible wounds.
With the AP -1, you ignore my 6 up armor, you do 2 wounds, he's got 1 left.
I'm going to throw 1 Infernal Bolt Pistol towards the Psyker, or the Astropath, and then the other towards your character here.
Yeah. Characters don't block characters, so...
Yep. So, starting with the 1 over there, hitting on a 2. The 5 will do it. And then wounding on, I believe, a 3.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Mm-hmm. And with a 6 up save, AP -2 definitely goes through it.
Yep. And then with the 2 up, firing at the Company Commander, hitting on a 2. Hits. Wounding on a 3. Wounds.
Oop. Oh, nice. 5 up invul. Nope, he takes another wound.
Alright. And then I believe that's it for shooting. Don't have anything else. So charges to declare. I'm going to throw both of the... I'm going to throw Ahriman first into the Company Commander.
Just the Company Commander?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. The Company Commander and your Priest.
Alright. Company Commander's Plasma Pistol, not supercharged, hitting on a 6. Nope. And the Priest, rapid firing his auto gun. No.
Do I make it in? A 10 will definitely make it.
Mm-hmm.
And then charging the Exalted into the same 2 targets.
Okay.
With a 6, pretty sure that's more than enough. Leaving the other one alone because I just want to focus fire.
And then I'm going to gloriously intervene because it's the end of your charge phase.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's fair enough. Alright, so attacks. Alright, so starting off, I'm going to have Ahriman go first. He's going to split up his attacks, going 2 into the Company Commander and 2 into the Priest. So, first 2 going into the Company Commander, hitting on 2s. And then wounding on 2s. For 1 possible wound.
1 5 up invul. No. And I don't got any command points, so that's 3 damage to...
The Company Commander.
Yeah, which he's dead. He's only got 4.
Yeah. So then the other 2 attacks going into the Priest, hitting on 2s. And then wounding on 2s. For 1 possible wound.
1 4 up invul. Nope. Nope, 3 wounds, right?
Yep.
Let me double check.
AP -1, 3 wounds. And then for the Exalted Sorcerer, going for all 4 attacks into the Priest, hitting on 2s. For 3 hit, but because he's close to Armon, I get to reroll 1s. All 4 hit. I really love to roll that for a character for D&D. And then wounding on 2s as well. For all possible wounds.
4 up invul. Nope, and he's dead because he only had 1 left.
Yes.
You don't need to roll your d3s.
And then I believe it is your attacks back with your green sworded guard.
4 attacks going into the Exalted Sorcerer, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound. EP -3, so you're just going to use your invul.
Yep. Alright, so that's going to be 1 5-up for the Exalted. So, there we go. And got it. And that's going to be it for Thousand Suns turn 5, on to Guard turn 5.
Alright, for turn 5 for the Catachan Guard, the only thing that really happened in the movement phase was my remaining Covenant Commander fell back out of combat, and my Primaris Psyker did a runner, getting a total of 10-inch movement to here, so that that Flamer is the closest target. So going into the Psychic phase, smiting the Flamer. I got an 8.
I'm going to attempt to deny with Aramon. I got a 8.
Yep. So it successfully goes off because he did not get higher.
Nope.
Which is enough to kill it. Orders, I'm going to go ahead and give the company commander right there, get back in the fight so he can act as if he hadn't fallen back. And then go into the rest of the shooting. I'm going to start off with the Wyvern here, firing all his shots into the Exalted.
Alright.
So starting off with the mortars, 4d6 number of shots. Oh, finally, a decent roll on this. Rerolling the 2. Okay, I had to say something. So 10, 16 shots. Alright, 10 shots going into the Exalted Sorcerer. I'm sorry, 16 shots going into the Exalted Sorcerer, hitting on 4s. And then Strength 4 versus Tough of 4, so 4s to wound. And he gets to re-roll the 4 failed wounds, getting 1 more. So 6 wounds.
And that's going to be 6 3-ups. Of which I fail 3 of them.
Alright, and then the Heavy Bolter, 3 shots hitting on 4s. 1 hit, wounding on a 3 because Strength 5. 1 wound with AP -1, so you have a 4-up save.
1 4-up save. No.
Company Commander that fell back is going to Plasma Pistol him, not supercharged. Hitting on a 3. Successful hit, wounding on a 3. Wounds, AP -3, so you're 5-up invul.
1 5-up invul. No, he is dead.
Woot. Alright, and then the last thing to shoot is going to be the Battle Tank, everything into Aramon.
Alright.
2d6 number of shots from his Battle Cannon. For that, I'm re-rolling the 2 for sure, and I'll risk the 3 now. For 9. 9 shots, hitting on 4s. And then wounding on 2s, because Strength 8. For 4 wounds with your 3-up invul.
And that'll be 4 3-ups. 4 made 3.
It does do D3 damage. Do you want to re-roll it? You have 2 command points.
Sure.
I still have 2 plasma guns and a...
I'm gonna re-roll it.
Okay.
1 reroll on the failed save. Same number.
Okay, D3 wounds for 2. 2d3 plasma cannons. Rerolling the 2. Okay, for a total of 4 successful shots. Or 4 shots, hitting on 4s. For 1 hit. And I did not supercharge it, so wounding on a 3. Nope. And then the Las cannon, hitting on a 4. I think that's it that can shoot.
Anyone charging?
No, because all those that are close can't.
Okay. In that case, on to Thousand Suns. Roll for the end of the game.
Yeah. And since you are right now
Losing, I will roll. What is it on a...
1 or 2, the game ends. So a 3 out, the game continues.
It continues. Alright, so turn 6 for Thousand Suns. I just moved the... moved Ahriman up just a few inches, just for an easy charge. And on to Psychic Phase. So, I'm going to be casting first Gaze of Fate, which is a warp charge 6. And a 3 doesn't get it. We talked about it off of screen, but when do I need to spend that one? That my last command point?
It was at the start of the Psychic.
Is that at the start of the Psychic Phase? Well, I'm not re-rolling any of this because I wanted to swap Prescience with Tzeentch's Firestorm.
Okay.
So, will you allow me to do that even though I didn't say it?
Yeah, that's fine, because we talked about it off camera enough, and you said what you were doing.
Yeah, alright, sweet. So next is going to be a Smite going into the Company Commander. You all know how Smite goes. 6.
Yeah, we'll attempt to deny. I got a 9.
Okay. And then lastly, Tzeentch's Firestorm going into him. I believe it is a warp charge 7.
Yes.
Which 8 will do it. So, 9 dice. On every 6, it does a mortal wound to that guy. For exactly 0 wounds. Worth it. Well, that'll be it for the Psychic Phase. I'm going to throw my 1 bolt pistol into the Company Commander. Hitting on a 2. Wounding on a 2.
A 3, but yes.
No, hit wounding on a 3. Sorry.
5 up invult? No, takes 1 more.
Doop.
He's down to 2.
And then I'm going to charge him.
His plasma pistol back. Nope.
Double 1s. No. And then my 4 attacks going right into him. Hitting on 2s. All hit. And then wounding on 2s. All 3 wound.
5 up invult. Oh, he did.
Okay. And then that is the end of my turn 6.
Alright. Alright, turn 6 for Catachan. Stayed put with the team over here. Over in this corner, tank moved forward. It's 12. Or 10, sorry. And the 2 characters moved out and away, getting out of line of sight because of the tank being in the way. So yeah, that's that. Psychic power, I'm going to attempt to give the tank -1 to hit against it.
Alright.
I got an 8, which would be enough to get it. Do you attempt? You do deny.
I will attempt to deny. With a 9.
And so you do deny it. Okay. That's it for Psychic. On to shooting. Wyvern shooting. Oop. Wyvern shooting its mortars up and over. 4d6 number of shots. For 11, re-rolling the 1. 11 shots, hitting on 4s. And then Ahriman is only tough 4, so wound down 4s. Well, I get to re-roll all these failed wounds. 1 successful. 2 successful. No AP on it, so you have your 3-up armor.
2 3-ups.
Made both. Tank now firing. He's going to fire everything, obviously, into Ahriman.
Yep.
Starting off with the battle cannon, d6 number of shots, because he doesn't get the 2 because he moved. Pretty far. Got 6 shots, though. He ignores the penalty in moving, firing the heavy weapon for his turreted weapon only. So 6 shots, hitting on 4s. 4, 4. And wounding on 2s. For 3.
And that'll be 3 4-ups.
Made them all.
Made them all.
Alright. 2 plasmas, not supercharging. 2d3 number of shots. 4. hitting on 5s because he moved. I'm going to say that one was cocked for 3 successful hits, wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, EP -3.
2 4-ups. One went
damage.
through.
Yep, only 1 damage though.
Okay.
And then the last cannon, 1 shot, hitting on a 5 because he moved. Hey. Alright, and to end my turn, my tank declares a charge against our...
Oh, no. Well, Overwatch. Don't hit. Well, you made it. Your attack's in, sir.
3 attacks, hitting on 6s. No.
Alright, mine. 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. All hit. And then wounding on
5s.
5s. For 1.
1 fort save because AP -1. No.
Well, this has flummoxed my plans.
Yes.
On to Thousand Suns' turn.
Well,
No. Does the game end? Do you want to roll this time?
No, yes. On a 1, 2, or 3, the game ends. 4, the game continues on to turn 7.
All right. Thousand Suns' turn 7. I decided to stick in the combat with Ahriman, as if I leave, it'll be more detrimental. I might actually kill it in combat. So, with move out of the way, moving on to Psychic phase, where first I'm going to do Gaze of Fate. Do I get it off with a 6? Yes. So I have that 1 reroll. Next, I'm going to Smite the tank with a 7.
Do you want to use your Gaze of Fate?
Oh, yeah. An 8!
I will attempt to deny.
Well, that's a 1,
I do
and that's
not.
a 2, so no.
Alright.
D3,
For 2.
2. So 5 wounds done. And then I'm going to Zinch's Firestorm the tank. So, I believe on a 7?
Yeah, it's a 7 to cast.
7 to cast. That's a 6.
Including your +1?
Yeah, I rolled a 4 and a 1.
Oh. Alright.
And I don't have that anymore.
Yes. You do not.
So, that does not go off. That's sad. I kind of needed that.
Mhm.
Even though it's a ball of random.
Yeah. Even if it had done 1, that would have made it easier for your melee.
Yep.
Now you have to do the same amount of attacks.
Yeah, so, then on to melee, where I'm... You're right. Pistol. I almost forgot about pistol.
It might do it damage.
There's a chance. Alright,
Yeah.
Infernal Bolt Pistol from Ahriman into the tank, going in, hitting on a 2. Hits. Wounding on a...
6, because it's only strength 4.
Yeah.
Tough 8.
Wounding on a 6. No, close though. And then my 4 attacks going in for the fight phase, hitting on 2s. All 3 hit, but I get to reroll 1s in hits. All hit. Wounding on 5s for 2 possible wounds.
2 4-up saves.
Both go through.
That's 6 damage, which means I'm at 11 of 12 wounds.
I needed that Zinch's Firestorm. And at this point, I lose.
Yes, by 1.
By 1 point.
I could possibly kill him in my turn, but
I've already lost points-wise.
yes.
Because I was hoping to tie.
Well, if you... Yeah.
I had to kill 1 thing and have Linebreaker.
Yeah.
I did not kill 1 thing.
Yeah, you could have tapped this turn.
Alright. Well, good game. That was some ups and downs and dice going places.
I feel like it was mainly down for the first 4.5 turns.
Yeah. That was some solidly just... Dice said no.
I just had enough wounds left at the end of the game for when I finally switched back more towards my favor that I could have come back.
Yes. That definitely put in a lot of work.
Nowhere near as much as it could have.
No, God no. But it did work.
Yeah. It killed the squad of pink horrors, and your Exalted was basically all it managed to accomplish. Did some wounds to the Flamers, but that died from other things.
Yep. Well, either way, good game. Hope everyone enjoyed, and have a good one.